Tired of the silence, the sugar-coated lies. Another headline screaming behind vacant eyes. They build up their walls so high and so strong, but the truth's gonna break through before too long. Every single day, the same damn old game, pointing all the fingers, nobody takes the blame. This pressure's building, it's starting to crack. Ain't no turning back now, ain't no holding back. I'm about to say it, yeah, I'm about to scream. Tired of the fake smiles, living in a dream. The real life's bleeding out in the cold. Gotta break the mold, gotta let it unfold. I'm about to say it, every single word. The uncomfortable truth finally gonna be heard. I'm gonna say it.
Grand rising to all my viewers. How you doing? Welcome to hashtag I'm Gonna Say It. I apologize for not doing the show yesterday. My sinus is making my head just pound, right? And I'm still not feeling good right now, but I didn't want to miss another day. Let's get our disclaimer out the way first.
Welcome to hashtag I'm Gonna Say It. All things said in today's show are alleged and for entertainment and educational purposes only. If you are below the age of 18, we require that you leave the live now.
Okay. All right. So we got that end covered up. Hey, for my viewers that tuned in last night to hashtag Truth Podcast and watched my interview, first of all, thank you for doing so. That's number one. Number two, if you did, do me a favor and just put hashtag Truth Podcast in the chat. The owner of that actually asked me to relay that. He wanted to get a gauge and see who all joined in, and just to send you out a thank you. And so it was great. It was great. I enjoyed it. I loved doing the interview. Yeah, some awesome questions that you all asked. Awesome questions that he asked me too. So I want to thank them for having me on as a guest. I really appreciated it, and I had so much fun, and I cannot wait to do it again. Now, people, unfortunately, we have to address the situation as far as Puffy Jacket's trial and the Ricardo, okay? Because when I logged on to my TikTok today or this morning, I had people messaging me saying, I still don't see it. All I see is DV. Okay, all right. As tired as I get of hearing that, I'm not going to get tired of breaking it down and advocating for it, okay? So, let's go slow before we get in, and then we'll get into today's show, all right? Good morning, Chrissy. Welcome in, love. Thank you for that heart me. I appreciate it. Okay, let's go back to the video. Let's just go back to the video of what happened in the hotel, which, by the way, today, I think this week in the trial is going to be pretty good, because today we have Mr. Garcia that's going to be on the stand, who is the supervisor of the hotel that actually accepted the $50,000 to $100,000 for the taping. You get me? So, and he's been granted immunity, so he won't be arrested for anything that he says. That means that he can go on the stand and tell exactly everything that happened, whether he was in wrong or whether he wasn't. He can say whatever and know that he doesn't have to face any kind of repercussions for it. He don't have to worry about being arrested or detained or anything like that. So I think it's going to be a very significant testimony that he gives. Right? But and also, one or two of Puffy Jacket's CFOs, that's chief financial officers, are going to take this, or are scheduled to take the stand this week too. So now we're going to follow the money trail too. So, but I hope them books add up. But let's take nobody can forget it, but let's take that video. And for those who just say it was DV, okay, let me explain to you where the kidnapping, because we can't say the real words, or the kidnapping comes into play just within the realm of that video. All right. If you see she's leaving to get onto the elevator to leave, and then he comes around the corner, he does what he does. But if you watch the video again, or closely, or pay closer attention to it, I should say, he goes to drag her back towards the room. So now, anytime you decide to hold anybody against their will, anytime, it doesn't matter if you are in a room and the person wants to leave and you're guarding the door and not letting them out, you're holding them against their will. Okay? You cannot restrict anybody from leaving if they want to go like that. You see what I'm saying? And Thea says, good morning. Is the evidence getting more damning? I think it will this week. I think we'll start getting into it, given the fact that, like I was saying, I don't know if he's on there yet. No, he's probably not on there yet. But the security, not security, supervisor from the hotel where it happened, he's supposed to take the stand today. Hey, Bestie, how you doing? Oh, thank you. Thank you for coming into the podcast last night. I appreciate it. Of course, once again, when I saw your name, I lit up. I love the fact that you came in there. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for the support so much. And Thea says, I haven't been keeping up since I joined last time. Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna even hold you. I'm gonna call it like it is. The defense team definitely won as far as, hey, good morning, DJ Zay. How's it going, brother? Yes, my brother from another mother. You got that right. The defense team destroyed Mia. But the thing about it is, they kind of went in. I think it went too far, but that's just my opinion. But they did what they needed to do, and Anthea, and they won that day. That was, I want to say Friday. Yeah, Friday and yesterday. Defense won that. That was definitely a win for Puffy Jacket. Like I said, with the security dude coming on, yeah, Katie M said this trial is wild. It really is. It really is, Katie. With the supervisor from the hotel coming in, who actually accepted the payment from Puffy Jacket for the tape, so it wouldn't get leaked, which didn't happen. That's going to be. I think that's going to definitely put more concrete evidence on it, because he accepted the money. I mean, he was paying to cover up a crime, so that's going to come into play. And I seen someone that said that's a lie. No, anytime you hold somebody against their will, that is the kidnapping part that they're talking about in the RICO. That's not a lie. Go take somebody in your house and they want to leave, and you physically restrain them or whatever, and then they go and tell, well, in this case, they're not a celebrity, so you're not going to get away with it, but they go and report that, you will be in somebody's county jail. I don't know no other way to tell you that. You cannot hold somebody anywhere or confine them against their will. So I don't know where you get that's a lie. But to my point, though, yeah, my big brother's in here. MF Uno, go and follow him. Yes, big bro, I heard about his mom serving the putting his in the Mac. Listen, that is, she needs to be locked up too. She needs to be locked up too, you know? But that's disgusting. And something else I want to point out too to that, if I don't know if anybody else has paid attention, but do you notice that his mom always has her fingernails painted white, and his daughters had their fingernails painted white? But we've already heard and know that he liked Cassie to have her fingernails painted white, and we know why, you know. Oh, hey, Katie, thank you for that Rocky the Rock Bean. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Now I'm just thinking, that's if you like this person that you are. My brother said, man, I think they was all scrumping. Yes, I do believe that, bro. I do. I don't. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I think him and his mother has a very unhealthy, should not happen relationship. No, I mean, the way he kisses her on the lips, um, and the fact that, oh, thank you for the TikTok, Katie. I appreciate that. The way that he kisses her on the lips, the way he talks about her, how she's flexible and she can put both hands on the ground and stuff like that. Hashtag Truth Podcast in the building. Hey, I was just telling them about last night, and I asked the ones that were in there to put hashtag Truth Podcast in the feed so we'll know that they was in there, you know. So we'll see if that happens. Thank you for that perfume, Katie. I appreciate that. Thank you for the finger hearts. I appreciate you, Katie. Thank you for the love, Katie. I love it. Thank you. That's not good. Friendship. Thank you for the friendship necklace, Katie. Katie, what, you making me blush over here. Hey, bestie, how you doing, Liz? Good morning. Here's the thing. Let's just put this together. Thank you for that heart, me, Liz. I appreciate that, bestie. Let's just put this together. If you liked the girl that you was intimate with to have her fingernails painted white during freak-offs so you could see the contrast when she has her hands and feet around a guy's, you know, why would you want that on your mom and your daughters? Like, how do you even put that together? No, not yet, Liz. I gotta check it out. You got it posted, right? On your page, on your wall? I gotta go check it out. I haven't seen it yet. You right, bruh. You were so right. It's wild. It's wild, man. Like, I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't get it. But I just wanted to just point that out, that for the people who keep thinking, well, I don't see the Ricardo, I only see the DV. When he's dragging her back to the room against her will, he's in trouble. Dimple Cheeks, how you doing? Good morning. That is a crime. You cannot try to hold someone captive. You can't do against their will. You can't do that. And she wanted to leave. You know, you're struggling. Okay, do we need to talk? June's Happy Sense. Good morning to you. How you doing? Welcome to the live. But that's not, you can't do that. It doesn't work, right? June's Happy Sense. Thank you for that. Love you so much. I love you so much. Thank you. Oh, sleepy. Okay, I'm with you. Okay. And then when you go and you're paying the supervisor of the hotel, when you go and tell, hey, man, listen, I give you 10,000 if you just give me the tape, or hey, I give you 50,000 or 100,000, however much. It was between 50 and 100,000, if I'm not mistaken. But and he accepts it and understand, because some of you were like, well, why didn't he go to jail? Because he didn't report the crime. You don't. It's not a law where we have to report a crime. He doesn't have to do that. Bessie said, it shows Puffy Jacket still has reach. Exactly. 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 He's on the stand now. Or not now, but today he will be. Is Mr. Garcia, who is the supervisor of the hotel that accepted the payment for the tape initially, and I think they said two. I keep thinking they said two. I think it's two of his chief financial officers. Oh, and get this. And I don't know if you all have seen the documentaries, but at the end of one, his assistant was talking. The assistant is the guy, I think his name is Elias, if I'm not mistaken. But he was talking about how he had to stock the room and for the free calls and stuff like that. Well, it's been stated that he's gonna take the stand too. Liz says the way Baby Oil Man behaves, they're hesitant to report, which is understandable. Right, exactly. And that's what I'm trying to tell people. People are still scared because you got to understand, he could still possibly walk from this. Even with everything that we see and know, he could still walk. So they're still scared, like you haven't given him any concrete proof that he's going to be detained for the rest of his life or for years to come. And the thing about, oh, that's cool. Who did that? Who did that? Chat June's Happy Cent. Thank you for that. That was amazing. Thank you. They're still not safe. They don't feel safe. They know he could get out. And to your point, he still has reach on the outside. So even though and we're going to cover all of this too, but even though he's incarcerated right now, it's nothing but a phone call to some people he know on the outside that can go and take care of people. And I'm not too sure that he hadn't gotten to some of the people who were already going to testify and decided not to be honest. Denise Hunter 705, welcome to the live, love. How you doing this morning? She says, it is a crime to sell hotel security cameras that he didn't purchase himself. And she is correct. That's another crime. That is another crime. And remember, people, they only need to prove two. And I'm talking to my free diddlers. They only need to prove two. We just gave you two right there, and they're not even done. Denise says all they have proved so far is that his conduct discusses behaviors and activities. No, well, Denise, like I was saying, on the video that he paid for, we already established that was wrong. But the other thing is him actually trying to drag Cassie back to the room. That is considered, it's a lot of people think kidnapping is, hey, you're out walking around and some man jumps out of a van and covers your head and throw you in the van and drive you off. No, that's not it. Right? Anytime you holding somebody or restraining somebody against their will, that falls in that category. My brother says, folks saying free Sean John need to go join him in lockup. That part, big bro. You'd be amazed, big brother, how many times we have to combat people on this on the show because they say that. You know? Charles Moore says he is not on trial for anything to do with Cassie. And he sure isn't. He sure isn't. And that's another thing that people forget. Grand rising to you. Who's that? Little brother. Good. Hey, grand rising to you. Yeah, he's not on stand for what he did to Cassie. Exactly. And the sooner people remember that or get that point, the better off they'll be. You got to look deeper into the video, right? The video, because on the surface, everybody just, oh, that's just the DV incident. And like I said, look deeper into it. He is dragging her back towards the room where she is trying to vacate. That right there is a charge. That's falling under the Ricardo. And we've already talked about, you see what I'm saying, brother? You see? They've only proved domestic violence. Once again, not looking deeper into the video. Anytime you restrain or restrict somebody from leaving and you're holding them against their will, that is a crime. How many times I gotta say this? My brother said Bobcat got white fingernails. Boy, listen. Man, I love my big brother, boy. I love that boy. He listen. You crazy, man? Yeah, it seems that way to me. I'm just. Leah said French tips oiled up. Take that, take that. Oh my gosh, boy, y'all like that Tootsie Roll? Oh God, man, y'all are funny. You know what? I don't feel good, but y'all making me feel so much better. But yeah, so that's it, man. Those two things in itself is enough to prove Ricardo. All right. Now, let me get to what I want to bring you guys for the day. Hold on. I want to make sure I'm on there. Now, here's what I'm planning. Here's what I'm trying to do by bringing this to you. First of all, they from the A. That's number one. They from the A. But this female group, R&B group, they were very significant in shaping or forming the Atlanta music scene in the 90s, right? But I want to connect some dots with you. All right, so I need my slow listeners to speed up now. Okay, they were signed to a record label that was based here in Atlanta called LaFace Records. LaFace is L.A. Reid, and face comes from Babyface. Hey, good morning, Bessie. How you doing? Be the light, brother. Good morning to you. Good morning. Thank you for that heart me. Thank you for the popular votes. I appreciate that. Be the light. Yes, Bestie. That's exactly who I'm talking about. TLC. Now, let's get deeper into that. Denise, thank you for the rose. I appreciate that. Thank you. Let's do this. Y'all ready? Now, Puffy Jacket has 3 kids by a lady that he bought her casket 3 weeks prior to her passing. Or unaliving. We're going to say unaliving because we all know. Unaliving. Who am I talking about? You know what, Dimple Cheeks? The same way. Pebbles, yeah, she did do them dirty, but we going to get deeper. I thought it was just her too. Dee Dee, Jenny, that's right. That's right. Repentant. Oh yeah. Hey, how you doing? Repentant heart every day. You were right. Sunshine. Chrissy. That's it. The second one, Chrissy. Okay. So Kim was friends, close. I'm gonna say close friends because I don't know about the relationship. Although it is speculated that they may have a relationship, but they went to high school together and had a friendship, right? Now she, El Cazon, how you doing? Now she, Kim Porter, and Dallas Austin, like I said, they were friends in high school. But now Dallas Austin dated Chili of TLC and had a child with Chili from TLC. Okay? Now Arista was over LaFace Records, right? Andre Harrell, the is it Andre Harrell? Am I talking about? No, I'm not Andre Harrell. L.A. Reid was with Pebbles. Okay? And Pebbles was the manager of TLC. Got it? Now, they had dealings with Chive Davis and Puffy Jacket. So we've heard about, and I didn't know if it was really true, because you know how it'd be word of mouth. But once TLC found out, Liz, I love you so much too. Thank you so much for that. Princess and Pebbles, woo, we taking it back. Yeah, we going history lesson, right? Now, the thing about this is, they, just like Angie Stone, shout out to Angie Stone, rest in peace to Angie Stone. This brings validity to what we see going on. Hashtag True Podcast says, and these are the days of our lives. I mean, and it's like as the world turn every day, brother. You know? Yes, dimple cheeks. And that's what we're going to cover. We're going to get to that too. And see. Sorry. I want that to go out because we're going to play it in a minute. I just want to give y'all leading up to why this is significant. So, they found out that they were being not paid like they should have been, right? And so they decided to go and basically get their money, right? Well, let's hear how it happened. Let me cue it up real quick. Let's hear how it all played out.
Welcome back to the channel again, ladies and gentlemen. Thank y'all so much for coming over, man.
Shout out to Jamel,
aka
aka
be
Jamal.
all over the place, but it's all good, man. I'm just trying to educate myself, find out stuff, do some not backtracking, but find out backstories on certain things so I can know when news come out. I don't want to be like
Jenny.
Shocked or surprised with stuff, man. It's just so much going on, so many connections. I know y'all seeing them too, man, but this video here, and this is another person who we'll see if his name is brought up in this case. But the night
Hey, give me a one. Can y'all hear good? One if you can, two if you can't. Audio good? Okay.
Clive Davis and Diddy found out how dangerous TLC were. Yo, we ain't gonna waste no more time. Let's jump right into it.
Why did TLC hold Arista hostage? The record company, Clive Davis, we held them hostage like guns, the whole shebang.
They
We love
made
TikTok Shop.
$75 million and got handed $50,000 checks.
That's crazy.
So TLC did what no other act dared to do. They stormed Clive Davis' office, kicked Diddy out of a meeting, and held the entire label hostage.
So we went up there and held everybody hostage, and Puffy was the one that snitched us out. Yo, B, yo, your girl's up here mad bugging, yo.
What happened next would change the music industry forever, and Clive Davis never looked at them the same again.
Hey,
And
thank you
we
for that
have
donut,
one
Katie.
of the girls acting
Appreciate
as
that.
security outside of that door and said, don't let anybody in or out unless we say so. Okay, so Clive is like, girls, what's going on?
And decades later, Chili quietly confirmed the other truth, what she witnessed while dating Usher, and why Diddy panicked the moment she started talking.
He did the ultimate no. You don't do that, and he did that, and I'll never take him back. So it's a done deal.
Hold on, let me pause right there, because once again, I need all my people that came in here and saying I lied, I was lying, that the ballpark Usher didn't go to the hospital for his back door being torn, ripped, whatever, however you want to use it, while living at Puffy Jacket's house. So I want y'all to tune in. And remember, he dated Chili and she broke up with him. So let's find out.
He did. He really did.
This isn't a story about music. This is about what happens when three women decide
did
to fight
call him
back
Gusher.
and
You're
never
right.
back
You're
down.
right, big bro.
TLC didn't start off dangerous. They started off broke. By the time
did?
Crazy Cool went multi-platinum and pulled in $75 million, the members of TLC, T-Boz, Chili, and Left Eye were driving
bestie.
beat-up cars,
Facts.
had barely any
We sure
furniture,
have.
and were each handed $50,000.
It's crazy how often you hear stories like this. Like people seeing the money but not receiving the money. You know, they get work with these labels. That's why I said, like, if you can do your own self-promoting and stuff like that, you should. You shouldn't have to count on a label to try to help you go viral or stay relevant, because at the end of the day, they be doing some shady stuff behind your back. But a lot of times, some of the money that people get, they feel like, you know, they've never seen
Hey, that's what Orlando Brown called him, Gusher.
that much money before, and chances are they not, so they gonna take it. And they got you. They got you.
Some may need crowns, some may need...
All right, that's commercial. Y'all know how it go.
TLC had generated on Crazy Cool $75 million, and they gave us $50,000.
Facts,
So I was
bestie.
like, what
Look
the
what he did to
hell?
Luther.
That's when everything changed.
And tried
Left
Barry
Eye,
White.
fresh out of the diversion center after setting her ex's house on fire,
Rest in
had
peace.
met a new group of associates while locked up. Women who didn't play. Ex-cons. Big, intimidating,
Hey.
and down to ride. So when Lisa said, "Let's go get our money," the plan was set in motion. They didn't go through managers. They didn't file lawsuits. They drove straight to New York. Clive Davis, the man behind the label Arista, was at the top of the food chain. And Puffy, still going by that name at the time, just happened to be in the middle of a meeting with Clive when TLC showed up.
Tion's cousin walks over, at the time it was a tape, stops the tape, gives it to Puffy and says, TLC's got a meeting with Clive and you got to go. Your meeting's over.
TLC's crew spread through the building, snatching plaques, posters, anything with their name on it, and loaded it all into a waiting limo. Their limo driver was the getaway car. One of their girls acted as security outside Clive's office. Nobody got
Hold on. Be the Light says, I remember the house being set on fire. Yes, that was Andre Rosin. Happened in Alpharetta. They lived in Country Club of the South, which is an exclusive neighborhood where a lot of the stars and celebrities live here in Atlanta. But that's it. That's it. You're right. You're right. And when he said she had just gotten out of the, whatever you want to call it, that's what she just got out from that incident. Basically, it was like a mental hospital kind of thing. But you're right, brother.
in. Nobody got out. They told Clive they were broke. They told him L.A. Reid was pointing fingers. And then the cops showed up. Clive had a decision to make: press charges and risk headlines, or handle it quietly. TLC left with no arrests. But soon after, the money came. Not all of it.
Hey, good morning,
it was
Rita.
recoupable.
How you doing, Bessie?
Which meant they still didn't see most of it. But the renegotiations started. The label
And
was
yes, they
rattled,
was,
and
Bessie. You're
TLC
right, Marie.
made it
We're a
clear
force to
they
be
weren't
reckoned
just
with.
artists. They were fighters. And from that moment on, Diddy knew TLC wasn't the type of act you controlled. They were the kind you ran from. They didn't just scare Clive. They embarrassed Diddy. And years later, Chili gave us a clue that the tension between TLC and Diddy ran deeper than anyone realized.
Want to hear my joke I have? Ready? This is good. See if you like it. A lot of multiple nominees, multiple Grammy nominees this year. Lauryn Hill's got 4, TLC's got 8, and Sean Combs 5 to 10.
Pause. Because I seen this actual interview when it happened, right? And I thought at that time she was saying he was 5 to 10 Grammys. You remember that, Bessie? I thought she meant he was slated to get 5 to 10 up for 5 to 10 Grammys. I didn't know that Rosie O'Donnell meant then. Back then, she meant 5 to 10 years in prison. So now, my free diddlers, long before this case had even came about, people in the industry were already sending subliminal messages about what he was doing back then before this was even a thing. You get me? 5 to 10 years incarceration. That's what she was talking about, not Grammys, not Grammy nominations. Now, the other two people she mentioned, yeah, she was talking about the Grammy nominations for them, but not when it came to him.
Now this joke hits different that Rosie O'Donnell said, because I didn't really know the full backstory, but now hearing what TLC, it sounds like the damn Set It Off movie. So that's why I said this is what it looked like when you stand up for yourself, and a lot of people are afraid to.
Get it like he's going to jail? Right. All right.
It was just a joke. Rosie O'Donnell made a crack on live TV, and Chili burst out laughing. She laughed harder than anyone else in the room, and the look on her face, like she knew something the rest of us didn't. At the time, most people saw it as innocent, a celebrity moment gone viral. But once you start connecting the dots, who Chili used to date, where Usher came from, and how close he really
Hashtag Podcast True said, hashtag True Podcast says, you would think an uprising would have happened before this. But that's the thing, though. Like they were saying, brother, people were scared because Chive and Puffy Jacket had so much power and reach and control and influence in the industry, which is why it was hard for Cassie to leave. Again, a lot of people don't, get that, but she didn't just stay and take the beating, man. You get me? Like she couldn't. These people really, and you gonna see, y'all gonna see at the end what happens. As if we learned from Angie Stone, we've learned from Aaron Carter. We just did a show about him. What is it? Pimp C, and so many others. Child been doing this. Phyllis Hyman. We know Aretha Franklin, Angie Stone, the latest. No. Angie Stone was Universal. I'm sorry, not her. But the same thing happened. There was somebody else, and I don't forgot too. Not to mention, we still believe he did it to my cousin. To be honest.
was to Diddy, that laugh doesn't feel random anymore. Because Chili dated Usher for years. And Usher, at just 14 years old, had been sent to live with Diddy in New York by LaFace Records. He called it Puffy Flavor Camp.
If your neck looks like this, you need to watch this video.
You said, what do I think about Roc Nation and CEO Desiree? I think they are going to try to make her seem as if she's lying. But I think if they actually do a deeper dive into an investigation or whatnot, I think there's truth in what she's saying. I think they're going to do the typical strategy that they do. Oh, she's crazy. Oh, she's lying. You can't believe her. She's unbelievable. You have to discredit her claims. She's not, reliable and stuff. Kind of like what they done to Mia. I think that's what they're going to try to do. But I'm going to say this. I think the walls are slowly closing in on Camel Face. Marie says, I probably need to watch that video. I have a feeling my neck looks like that. You are crazy. You are crazy. Look, he was like...
been sent to live with Diddy in New York, and Chili burst out laughing. She laughed harder than anyone else in the room, and the look on her face, like she knew something the rest of us didn't. At the time, Most people saw it as innocent, a celebrity moment gone viral. But once you start connecting the dots, who Chili used to date, where Usher came from, and how close he really was to Diddy, that laugh doesn't feel random anymore. Because Chili dated Usher for years, and Usher, at just 14 years old, had been sent to live with Diddy in New York by LaFace Records. He called it Puffy Flavor Camp.
We don't need to hear this no more.
And when Chili and Usher got together, it wasn't just romance. It was proximity to one of the most powerful and allegedly dangerous men in music. And the question that's haunted fans ever since: what did Chili see or hear while dating Usher during his Diddy years?
Is it just me, or after knowing that here recently, within the past few days, there's been speculations of Puffy Jacket allegedly having STDs, and then knowing that Gusher has had 3 lawsuits filed against him for people saying that he gave them STD. Is it just me in my mind, or do y'all understand this too? But when you hear "Let It Burn," the song "Let It Burn" by him, do you? It makes you. It's different now, right? It don't seem. It makes you wonder what he was talking about, right? Is that residuals from Flavor Camp? I'm just saying, right? Because, you know, after you hear something and you think it's one way, for years we've heard it in that way, and we thinking about it's a relationship ending, and I know he did the video that way. But as things come out, as lawsuits, when you have 3 lawsuits, let it burn, brother. Exactly what's burning? Because we thought we was talking about a relationship ending, but 3 people said you gave them the gift that keeps on giving. So I didn't. Just let me know. Am I tripping?
See, this wasn't just pillow talk. This was a woman dating a man who'd lived in Diddy's house, partied with Diddy's crew, and was hospitalized after a situation involving Diddy.
I need all people who said I was lying about Gusher having to be rushed to the hospital while staying with Puffy Jacket because his back door was bleeding to report to the live now.
Didn't we tell him? Bestie. What, about a year and a half? Like you said earlier, we got shut down because we was bringing the same content. And people, that didn't, let me get, because it was a girl who did, it was a woman, I remember.
That didn't happen. They can't release no information like that. That's against HIPAA laws. You wouldn't know that he had to go to the hospital or what he went to the hospital for because they can't release that information.
No, you just don't know the information. You just ain't listening hard enough to know the information. You just don't know the right people to find out the right information from. Ain't got nothing to gain to sit up here and lie to you about some stuff like that, man. You get me? Nate 61 says, love the voice. I feel like that's how she was. Like she was literally upset that I said that. Marley 007, shout out to you. She says the incident was also reported by Gusher's mother. Okay. Let's put some meat on that, Marley. Shout out to Marley. Let's give it up to her. Denise Hunter said HIPAA didn't exist then. Listen, these people be crashing out over Puffy Jacket. I don't even know why. They act like he just started doing this stuff. Like, it's been decades of him doing this stuff that he's gotten away with it. And they mad because he's got to face his music right now. Like, come on. But like Marley was saying, if you remember, right before the trial, and we covered this in the show a couple of weeks ago, right before the trial, Chive Davis paid settlement money to Gusher and his mother. People, what song have you heard Gusher's mama sing? People, what song have you, that you know of, that Gusher's mama wrote or composed? So why would he have to pay her anything? Jenny, Betsy said, Chive gonna play old and demented for everything. It's worth for real. This would be a fine time to do that. But why would he have to pay her any settlement money? She's never been part of the industry. She's never written a song, composed a song. She's never sang a song. She's never been signed to his label, anything like that. But they did something to her son when she allowed him to go to New York and live with Puffy Jacket. Denise says he may beat this legally, but the Bible says you reap what you sow. She's right on that. Jenny says facts. All she did was sell her son to the flavor camp. That's all. That's all. So, once again, it just, I mean, you just got to look at it just makes sense. It was paid because they know what happened in the 90s to her son. And they paid because they probably didn't want Gusher to take the stand and tell what happened. Facts. Dimple Cheeks, you gotta look at the bigger picture. You cannot sit here and just say, well, you know, he's Puffy Jacket and he's done this, that, and the third, and so he couldn't do. Listen, they gave him the key to the city and took it back. They gave him an honorary doctorate or something like that from his college. They took it back. So you can't sit here and say, well, he didn't do nothing. Like, we're at a point now where you just choosing to not see it. But you know, I think that comes from idolatry. You are idolizing a man who puts his pants on the same exact way that you do. And maybe a little more fruitier. But in any event, I digress. He put his pants on the same way you do. Right? Did they? Hold on. Hold on. Sasha said someone just got kicked out of court for yelling they coming after Diddy. Okay, hold on. Let's see what we got. We're gonna put a pause in the audio. Where is let me see, 32 minutes. Okay, that's 6 minutes. All right. So let's see. 6 minutes ago, it says there was someone broadcasting Mia's name just outside the courthouse in Foley Square yesterday. We'd asked from the back of the courtroom, Diddy, they're coming after you. Those mother effers. Judge says court security officers escorted the person out. Okay, hold on. We got one from a minute ago, too. And that says, Judge continuing, the video timestamps, how long is it? If 40 minutes, it would be a good 403 argument. Agnafilio said, and that's the defense team for Puffy Jacket. This could be an easy fix. but the witness on this will be on the stand in 2 hours. Judge says, where does he live? New York? And the prosecution team said, no, Florida. Hold on, I want to go back up to something where it says right here, there was someone broadcasting Mia's name. I want to comment on that. I want to comment on that for something. And if somebody can tag him in this, that'd be fine. I'm cool with that. Hashtag, I'm going to say it. DJ Academics, you're a bitch. Pardon my language. For going on your platform and doxing this girl. And I do believe that you should be arrested too for that. Because if the court had put in play and made an agreement that she is to testify under, they granted her the ability to testify under the pseudonym of Mia, it should have been left at that. And so the fact that he went on social media, not only blasting her name, but also posting pictures of her, they need to come and lock you up. You should have been locked up for trying to groom that 15-year-old boy a few months ago. You should have been locked up for that. You should have been locked up for that. But I just wanted to say that because that's wrong. And now this person is doing the same thing, which is this is another reason that prevents people from coming out and speaking because, again, they have to fear for stuff like this happening. Exactly, Bessie. It shows Puffy Jacket still has his reach. You all are seeing it. Every time y'all come on this show, we point out to you a million reasons why he's guilty. And y'all try to come up with 10 to justify it. Like, so what has to happen for you to get it? Does he gotta put his Tootsie Roll on you? Of course. See, we got violated, you see. But anyways, do you gotta experience the same thing? Does he gotta beat you up too? Like, I don't understand. What is it that y'all cannot connect that he's guilty of? He's been guilty of. You get me? I don't understand that. And I don't care, TikTok, man. I've heard people say way worse on their platform and you say nothing about it. So if you're going to violate me, then do it. Let's see. All right. So, yeah, that's what we got so far right now. We'll come back and we'll go back to what's being said in court. Let's wrap up this audio real quick.
Puff and Usher did have a situation, and that situation led Usher to the hospital.
Yeah, we love
There were
TikTok
rumors
Shop.
of an STD. There were stories that Kim Porter found tapes. There were claims that Diddy bragged
Marley.
about it all.
007,
And now,
yeah.
legal
$20
documents
an hour.
mention an unnamed artist with a Vegas residency and a Super Bowl performance. That matches Usher. And if Chili knew what was going on behind the scenes, if Usher told her everything, it explains why she suddenly backed off from both Diddy and Usher. She stopped speaking on him. She stayed away from Diddy's world, and she never looked back. Because what she may have learned wasn't just heartbreaking, it was dangerous. And in interviews since then, Chili never directly confirms what she saw. But she always makes one thing clear. Sometimes you're supposed to be with people for a reason, but not a lifetime. And if Usher was carrying trauma from what happened at
That's a
Diddy's,
bar.
Chili may
It
have
is.
seen
And I think
exactly
that
what
could
it
have
did to
been-
him up close.
I think what she mean was for a reason. It was brought to her what was going on while she was dating Gusher, right? That's what I think.
The cheating, the emotional distance, the erratic behavior. And now, after everything that's come out, some people don't even blame him. They blame Diddy. Because if Diddy exploited Usher, and Usher passed that pain forward, then Chili was a witness to all of it. And Diddy
Pass that pain forward. Who could we be talking about? Who could he be talking about when he says, if Gusher was done that way, and then paid that paying forward. Who do you think Gusher paid it forward with? Jenny, my bestie, my bestie, my bestie. Yes, exactly what
knew
I'm
that.
thinking.
That's why her laugh
Right,
at
Kim,
Rosie's
see?
joke hit different. Because maybe that wasn't just a punchline. Maybe it was payback. But Chili wasn't the only one Diddy and Clive had to worry about. If anyone in TLC truly scared them, it was Left Eye. Lisa Left Eye Lopes wasn't just the wild
It's
card.
Lopez, not
She
Lopes.
was the ringleader. And when she
Right,
found out the
Jessica?
group had made
Thank you for that
$75
rose. I
million
appreciate that.
while each member got paid just $50K,
That is
she snapped.
crazy.
Of course, Lisa was the ringleader.
Like, we need to go get our money. I need to know where my MF and money's at.
What happened next was borderline criminal. Lisa gathered a crew of ex-con women she met while locked up in a diversion center. Big women, loud women.
A trick of ice water, salt, and lemon has gone.
Sorry, I was commercial, and it's Steve Harvey, but we'll do a show about him later.
He'd done time and didn't care about going back. Then she called Chili and T-Boz and said, "We're driving to New York." They flew in, met in Manhattan, and walked straight into Arista Records with a plan. Get their money or shut it down. They kicked Diddy out of his own meeting. They stormed every floor of the building, ripping down anything with TLC
When I arrived,
on
it
it.
was baby oil
Awards,
everywhere.
plaques, promo
That's so you
posters.
can- so
One
they
of the
can't get
girls
away.
stood guard outside Clive Davis's office, refusing to let executives in or out. They even had a getaway limo waiting out front. Clive let it go and told his team to start renegotiating. But the fear? That lingered. Because Lisa wasn't just about contracts and money. She wanted answers.
Right,
She
right,
wanted
Bestie.
to know who had their money and what was really going on behind the scenes.
Smart.
Shortly after, she made one of the boldest career moves of her life, signing with Death Row. Nobody could believe it.
I remember that.
TLC's most outspoken
When she passed away, she was actually dating Suge. Left Eye was. Hold on one second. We're gonna go back to it. I wanna see if there's any more updates from the court. Okay. So 14 minutes ago, there was someone brought. Oh no, we already read that. I'm sorry. Okay, no. So it's no. We already read all those. There's no new updates yet. Scary. Like, what are they doing? It's taking so long. Okay, yeah, there's no update yet. So we'll go back to the audio.
member had just joined the most dangerous label in music. And right when it looked like Lisa was about to expose everything, from the money trail to industry secrets, the unexpected happened. You see, after TLC showed up at Clive Davis's office and shut it down,
You know, whenever they say was about to expose or was writing a book
Say it,
or
Jamel.
just things like that, and next thing you know, they're gone. Look, man, you guys can think what y'all want to think, but
You got free Diddler
this
guys.
stuff be crazy. This stuff be crazy, man. As far as like, you don't want to seem like a conspiracy
hey.
person, but my
Hold on.
goodness.
I love you. How you doing? You having a good day, baby? Is she cooling? She having a good day?
My goodness. Damn, this is deeper than the connections run deep, man.
They do.
I'm just wondering why Diddy didn't
Look,
stand up to them or try to do nothing to
I'm
them
about
like
to
he was
hold
doing
on.
to the other women. Allegedly. Well, not allegedly with Cassie, because we saw the video.
Right.
The label got real quiet. Nobody expected it to go that far, not even the security team. But it did. From that day on, even artists had to go through extra checks just to enter Arista's building. Metal detectors, sign-ins, pat-downs, all because 3 girls from Atlanta walked in and made it clear they weren't playing about their money.
And after that, if you wanted to go to Arista, even if you were an artist, you had to sign in and they had to pat you down and all that kind of stuff because of TLC.
And let's be honest, Clive Davis didn't do anything. He sat there, let the girls talk, watched his plaques get pulled off the walls, then acted like nothing happened, because deep down, he knew they were right. They weren't being dramatic. They were being robbed. They weren't wildin'. They were handling business. TLC didn't hire a bunch of lawyers. They didn't send angry letters. They pulled up, face to face, and made it clear, if we don't get paid, you don't get peace. Eventually, they got a better deal. Still not fair. The label kept recouping off them, but it was enough to stop the bleeding. Enough to let them tour again, make money on the road, and tell their side without being shut down. And the industry? They stayed out of TLC's way. Nobody sent fake press. Nobody pushed Clive to fix the girls. And Diddy? He never tried to get involved again. Because what happened that day at Arista wasn't just about money. It was about power.
I'm fighting my sinuses, but I'm doing
they weren't
okay. How about
scared of
you?
anybody. Not Clive, not Diddy, not the whole machine. After that, people understood TLC doesn't bluff. And if you cross them, they'll show up and make you deal with it. After that standoff with Clive Davis, TLC moved on. But not all of them stayed in the spotlight. Left Eye was
Lady
different.
screaming going off. Pause. Let's see if we can pull it. Look. Let's see if we can pull this up.
What do we hear? Oh shit.
Sorry, it's loud. Cars driving by. Hold on, I'll mute that. Let's see. I'm trying to see if they're gonna show her. Let me see. Let me see if they got another camera angle. Hold on 1 second, people. Hold on 1 second. Trying to see if anybody else has camera angle. I have to stick with them.
Who gives a fuck? You lied to, mister. I don't lie. You never lied in your life?
We love TikTok Shop.
In your life.
Oh, okay. All right. We're just gonna go back to the audio because this lady. First and foremost, let me tell people who are not from New York. Don't go up there playing with these people. They will fight. And she looked like the amount of F's that she gives that's a man talking to her is below 0. And I would play it, but she calling him everything but his name. So I can't play it because they already done gave us one warning because I said the B word, right? So I can't even play it, but yeah. Yeah, who told us about this? I can't remember. Was it, hold on. Sasha, I appreciate you updating us on that. I didn't know, and I wish I could play it, but man, she is not trying to hear anything that nobody is trying to say right now. So All right. Go back to the audio real quick. Hold on. Is that my homegirl, Gina? Gina! And there's so much tension around that area. I believe it. There's people walking around now. Like there was one guy who he looks like he was preaching, but I'm not sure what he was doing. Yeah. Eddie's on the Garcia's on the stand. That's the supervisor of the hotel that that accepted the money for the tape, which is coercion. Coercion. However you say that word. Okay, hold on. Let me read you this update real quick. It said on Monday, an ex-aide who accuses Puffy Jacket of rape testified that she continued sending Combs loving messages for years after her job ended in 2017 because she was brainwashed. Now, Dr. Rashida, thank you, bestie, for the heart me. How you doing? Now, let's put this into context too, right? He wanted people to shower him, praise him. And that goes back to what Gene Deal was telling us about when he kept telling Big to put say his names in songs. Okay? Dr. Rashida, listen, I understood why you couldn't make it, and I totally understand. I wouldn't expect anything different than you being a loving mother that you are and helping your daughter. So, hey, you owe me nothing. You owe me nothing. You know? Thank you for the goats. I appreciate that. But yeah, it's perfectly okay. I perfectly understand where you coming from because I do the same thing. If one of my kids is called right now and say, Dad or Daddy, I need you, or Pops, one of them call me Pops. But any one of them say, I need you, I'm out. I'm out like a Boy Scout on a new route. I'm gone, you know? So I get it. Thank you for the rose, Gina. I appreciate that. Thank you. Okay, so now security is coming down towards... Okay, that's because somebody is pulling up. Let's see if I can unmute it.
Has Byron told me one more goddamn time about some goddamn equipment?
Thank you, please. Everybody needs to smash that like button.
It's fucking Byron.
Somebody just pulled up in the black. I wonder if that makes any sense. I don't know. Usually his kids and mother, auntie mother, arrives in a van like this, but I'm not sure. We're going to see. Hey, thank you for that rose, be the light. I appreciate that, brother.
Yes, I was thankful.
Sharita, hey, best. All demons are selfish, and I can totally see the demon in him. Facts. Me too, bestie. Good morning to you too. You doing all right, love? Okay, so it's his cousin who's got the free Puff the Magic Dragon hoodie on, hat on. He did the, that's his L for because he calls it love. All right, so that is Justin. So Justin arrived by himself. Nobody else is with him other than the cousin. Ooh. Okay, all right. Hey. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, somebody was yelling at Justin that his dad is a CM. A CM. I can't say that. Okay. So that's what just happened right now. He's a little late, but okay, let's go back and see what's going on the inside of court. That's the outside. Let's see what's going on the inside. Oh, clicking on the wrong thing. All right, let's go refresh. See what we missing. We discovered the outside is popping. Okay. So 9 minutes ago, Prosecution says the government calls Eddie Garcia. Where did you work? Where did you work on the day in question? Garcia answered, the Intercontinental Hotel. I was told there was an incident involving Puffy Jacket. We're going to say Puffy Jacket. Yeah, that was Justin. That was just, did Christian pull up by himself too? Justin got out by himself a few minutes ago. Did Justin get out by himself? Because I came off of it and went back to, I went inside the courtroom. Let me see. Okay, they're just showing the entrance of the courthouse right now. So Sasha, did Christian come by himself? I saw Justin pull up. I didn't see Christian. Dittler Jr. DJ. All right. Okay. I'm gonna go back. Let's go back to the inside and see what's going on in the courtroom. All right. So the question, a Puffy Jacket. Prosecution asked him, "Do you see him here?" Steele, which is Puffy Jacket's on one of his defense attorneys, says we stipulate, so Steele will be doing cross. All right. 2 minutes ago, prosecution says, let me show you your sign-in sheet for that day. Garcia said, yes, I signed that. Week ending March 10, 2016. The prosecution says, could you monitor all the cameras? Garcia says, not all, but more than one at a time. The prosecution says, would you be required to check the monitors? Garcia said, yes. I'm sorry, I know we all over the place, but we're just trying to cover everything. Okay. Prosecution says, did you initially recognize the individual involved in the incident? Garcia said, not at first, but when I looked closer, yes, it was Mr. Puffy Jacket. I almost said his name. Mr. Puffy Jacket. Prosecution says, and did you learn who the second individual was? Garcia said, yes, Miss Cassie Ventura. Man, and he's got complete immunity. Boy, I'm trying to tell you, it's not finna work. It's not finna. I don't think it's gonna work out. Okay. We'll come back. We'll come back. There's no update right now. We'll come back.
She never let things slide. And when the group started seeing more money, Lisa still wasn't satisfied. She wanted to know how it all got that bad in the first place, how they went multi-platinum and ended up broke. She wanted her own label, her own direction, and most of all, her own answers. She wasn't walking away from music, but she was clearly searching for something bigger than awards or sales. That's when she decided to leave the US and spend time in Honduras. She called it a spiritual retreat.
It's gonna be left eye the cameraman. I'm getting my skills on as a professional photographer. I never shut the camera on. The camera followed me into my dreams.
She brought a small film crew and said she wanted to document her journey, not as a celebrity, but as a person trying to understand herself. During those final weeks, Lisa was reflective but unsettled. She talked a lot about energy, about spirits, and about something she couldn't quite explain. She felt like she was being watched. She believed something was following her.
All right, this feels almost illegal to know, but our windows were so...
I hate commercials, man. I might go ahead and get them. I don't know yet.
The crash. There was.
You said lady got kicked out of courtroom and banned completely for staying. Hold on, is that the same one we was talking about? Un momento, por favor. Let's see. Go to the outside. They're not sure. They must have turned the camera away from the incident. They're not showing anything on that. Oh, hold on. They'll have it. Oh, you know what? Maybe not. Maybe not. They probably won't. They probably won't. All right, 1 minute ago, the prosecution says, why was law enforcement not called? Well, Mr. Garcia says Ms. Ventura did not request it. The prosecution asked him, did you review the incident report? Mr. Garcia said, yes. There was an attachment that I didn't open on the computer, a video file. Prosecution says, did you receive a call? Mr. Garcia said, yes. Dimple Cheek says, no one will want to be associated with him. Yeah, they're not. They're not. Sugar 88, thank you for that heart me. I appreciate it. Jessica, thank you for that heart me. I appreciate that. Thank you both. Oh, let's give it up. Let's give it up for Jessica Smith. She became the 32nd fan in our fan club. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Prosecution says from who? They're asking who did he receive it from, right? I am. I got a little sinus issue, but I'm doing good. I hope you're doing okay. You having a good day? And Garcia says, ooh. So let's go back. Let's go back. Remember we were saying, he said, the prosecution asked him, why was law enforcement not called? Mr. Garcia says, Ms. Ventura did not request it. Prosecution says, did you review the incident report? Mr. Garcia said, yes. There was an attachment that I didn't open on the computer, a video file. Prosecution says, did you receive a call? Garcia said, yes. Prosecution said, from who? Mr. Garcia said, Christina Corm, with a New York area code. She asked if I had the video. Boy, look at here. The prosecution says, what did she ask for? What did she ask for? Mr. Garcia said, the video. She said, Mr. Puffy Jacket had been intoxicated and didn't remember exactly. Steels, who is the defense attorney, says, objection. Man, and the judge says, sustain. Prosecutor says, sidebar. Now, when the prosecutor say sidebar, they mean you want this work? Meet me at this desk. That's what that means. I'm paraphrasing. They didn't say that, but that's what that means. Yes, KK called. That's what it said. KK called for the tape. So now, this could be. I don't know, but this could be the very thing that sets in place for KK to flip and testify against Puffy Jacket. Now, if she does do that, and we also got to remember she wants to distance herself from it. She's already tried to do that, right? But if she does decide to do that, I think her and Farnsworth Bentley, like, they know more. They spent more time with. They was right there with him all the time, right, Sasha? Yeah, they are. You see why he got the immunity? That's why it's going to be free. He's going to give all. He's going to give everything. Jessica Smith says he is in trouble. Exactly. Jenny says if KK flips, it's a wrap for real. It's a wrap. That's a wrap. I'm just saying, like, it's. I don't care how people feel about it, man, and I don't know why they can't get past that. This is more. I mean, just Kid Cudi's testimony alone. He said that he was going to go over there. His intent was unaliving, but then he did kidnapping. But he kidnapped Capricorn Clark. Went and did what he said he was going to do to Kid Cudi's car. Come on, man. Not as of yet. He's been mentioned. He was mentioned last week. Farnsworth Bentley was mentioned last week, but it's no word he's going to come testify. But if he do, not does, do, him and like I said, if KK come on and do it, man, it's just like Jenny said, bro. It's over. Yeah, he was mentioned in the lawsuit, right? Correct. With Puffy Jacket. Here it is 9:52. Jessica said he probably hiding out with Russell. He and Bali like, I don't want to go back. I don't know him. Please, Lord, I never met him before. Take me out of the lawsuit. Because Russell be doing his little meditation thing. Yes, court is in session. Sure is. I know y'all like, why do I keep stopping the audio? But it's so many things going on at one time right now that we just got to bounce back and forth. So I just hope you all are rocking with, Yeah, he comes in and out. NYC. If you remember, he's supposed to come to court because what's her name? Oprah was saying she would testify against him in his situation, though, not with this. Man, okay. See, you gotta pay in order to see the side. Read the transcript from the sidebar. So you can't see that right now. I might end up doing that though. I really might do that. Okay, so they're still in sidebar, so we don't have anything. Sasha's. They're going through Desiree. Yeah, yeah. For with camel face stuff like that. You're right. How do you feel about them needing to address the King Party versus Freak Offers with Cassie? I don't think it, because the same thing happened at both. So I really don't understand. I don't think it's really something that has to be differentiated. Like it's what did you say the other day? Dimple cheeks, potatoes, something like that. All right, so it's the same. They're both one and the same. It's just a different title, But if he comes on the stand, let me see. I think Elias, I believe. But if he comes on the stand and he talks, because what he said in the documentary alone was valuable. It was golden evidence. But if he comes on the stand and gives his testimony, both parties, the Wild King or whatever it was called, I think it was Wild King something like that. And the freak offs will definitely come into play. My brother Alex Ruler in the building says, did Diddy have any, I'm sorry, Puffy Jacket have anything to do with Pac and Biggie? You ask me? Yes. Yes, I do believe so. I strongly believe so. Sasha says, Rock Nation CEO being sued by her daughter. Yeah, sure is. That's why I said earlier, I believe the walls are closing in, slowly closing in on Camel Face, but it's they're closing. All right, we're back. Let's pick up. Let's go with what's going on in the courtroom. The prosecution says, "What did you tell Miss Coram?" Mr. Garcia says that she would have to talk to management. The prosecution says, "Did she reach out again?" Mr. Garcia said, "Yes. I got a call from the lobby that she was there looking for me." The prosecution says, "What did she ask for?" Mr. Garcia said, "The video." The prosecution says, How did you respond?" Mr. Garcia said that she had to talk to management or file a subpoena. The prosecution says, Did you tell her? Hold on, what's going on? Okay, did you tell her what she saw on the video? What you saw on the video? Mr. Garcia said, "Yes, I told her off the record. It's bad." The prosecution said, "Did you get another call?" Mr. Garcia said, "Yes, from an NY, which is New York, area code." All right. Okay, look, this is what we're going to do, and I promise you, we'll stop. So we're going to go ahead and finish the audio, and then we'll come back to what's going on in the court, as well as keep an eye on what's going on outside the courthouse too, okay? So let's go and finish this audio because I want to say something, and it's funny you brought that. Not funny, but you was right on time with it, Alex. So
was a strange and tragic moment. Lisa's vehicle accidentally struck a young boy walking on the side of the road. He didn't survive. His last name was also Lopes.
Now, interesting fact about that is that the boy that she accidentally hit with her vehicle, and he ended up passing away, unfortunately, she kept his shoes. She kept the shoes that he was wearing when the accident happened.
Lisa was visibly shaken, and she told the camera that she believed the spirit meant to take her, not the boy. After that incident, her mood shifted even more. The footage shows her quieter, more tense. She kept going with the trip, but something clearly weighed on her. Then came the crash. The van she was in swerved off the road, flipped, and Lisa was on impact. She wasn't wearing a seatbelt. Everyone else in the vehicle survived. The official report listed it as a tragic accident. The road was narrow. The driver was avoiding another car. But for the people who had been following Lisa's story, especially those who knew what she was working on, the timing didn't sit right. Lisa was planning a new solo album. She had business plans outside of TLC, and she was in the middle of openly speaking about how badly the group had been treated by the industry, especially by LaFace and Arista. She was also one of the only members bold enough to confront Clive Davis directly. In her last interviews and taped footage, Lisa sounded more independent than ever. She wasn't just focused on music. She wanted ownership, real answers, and accountability for how much money had been taken from them. Her death, caught partially on camera, closed the chapter before she could fully tell her side. It's been more than 2 decades, and fans still wonder if Lisa knew too much or was getting too close to something people didn't want public. Officially, there was no foul play. No charges were ever filed, but the questions around her death haven't gone away. Lisa's legacy isn't just tied to TLC's success. It's tied to how fearless she was in calling out what wasn't right. From their contracts to their payouts to the silence from the people at the top. She wasn't the easiest person to control. And by the end of her life, she wasn't answering to the industry anymore. After Lisa's death, TLC carried on. They toured, did interviews, and tried to keep the group going.
Thank you,
but things weren't the same. The energy was different, and so was the dynamic behind the scenes. T-Boz and Chili stayed in the spotlight, but they moved carefully, especially Chili. Out of all the people connected to TLC, she's the one who stayed the quietest when it came to what was going on behind the scenes. But she didn't disappear. She just kept her distance, especially from Diddy.
Doing good,
she didn't go on talk shows and expose anyone. But she also never stood next to Diddy again. Not after Left Eye died, not after the Arista fallout, and definitely not after the truth about how young artists were treated started making headlines. For Chili, keeping her distance might have been survival. She was there for all of it. The bad contracts, the confrontations, and the industry parties that people still won't talk about on record. And out of the whole group, she's the only one still standing, still performing, and still choosing her words carefully. In any case, TLC wasn't just another successful girl group. They were one of the only acts from that era who stood up to the people in charge and walked away with their careers and their dignity still intact. They confronted Clive Davis. They didn't play industry politics. And when they felt cheated, they pulled up in person and demanded answers. This wasn't just a music story. It was about power, survival, and the cost of telling the truth in an industry that doesn't like to be challenged. And after what happened at Arista, one thing became clear. Nobody ever tried TLC again. Anyway, that's it for this video, folks.
Okay, now, my brother, my man Alex, you just proposed a question. Do I think Puffy Jacket is responsible for Big and Pac's unaliving? Now, this is how I want to tie this together. Left Eye and Pac were very, very close. To the point where even while she was with Andre Rison here in Atlanta, or the Country Club of the South, the neighborhood in Alpharetta that I told y'all about, go and Google it, Pac was in town. Well, you know, Pac lived here too. He had a house in Stone Mountain, and one day we're gonna go. I want to try to go to the house. Somebody lives in it now, but I want to try to go there because it's alleged that his mother, Afeni, God rest her soul, had a garden there, and she put some of his ashes in the garden. I don't know. I've heard that. I don't know. I got to do more research on it. And I want to go to the school that they had here for him. It's closed down, but I was told his statue is still up there, so I want to go to that. And I'll probably try to do that at the same time I'll go visit Left Eye's grave as well. But, of course, we'll go live whenever I do all of that, right? Stacy, welcome to hashtag I'm Gonna Say It, love. Thank you for that heart me. And let's give it up for Stacy because she is the number 30. She's a 33rd fan in the fan club. Thank you. Thank you for the support. Welcome. They were close, brother. They was real close. Yeah, I've heard that too. Is that Kendra L? I think I'm saying that right. I heard he was too. In fact, I posted a video of, I think it's South Africa. Anyways, where they said he was walking into a building. But I don't know. But they were close. And just like they were saying that if you pay attention to what the video, I know you just came in, brother, so you probably missed a lot of it. But out of the whole group, Left Eye was the one that was continuously putting pressure on Chive and the industry as a whole and its dark underworld dealings, right? Well, let's go back to a classic tape. I had a tape, but it was this classic thing that came out, and it's called, the artist went by the name of Machiavelli, right? And then if you looked under that, hey, thank you for that heart me. I appreciate that, Widow 33. Is that? Oh yeah, my Widow Love 33. How you doing? Right, Kendra. Anybody talking about him go bye-bye. And so, and that's what I'm saying. So if you take what she was doing, and she was really close, like they like I said, even though she was with Andre Rison, when Pac was here, she was trying to get it with Pac while at Andre's house. She didn't even care that her boyfriend, like, you see what I'm saying? But Machiavelli, it said, kill Illuminati the 7-day theory, right? He was going to expose what he knew about the business. She was going to expose what she knew about the business. And they were both very in tune with each other. They had just a high respect level for each other. So, do I think that they did that to those guys? Yes. And I think they did it to her too. Because not only was she talking about the record industry, she was also, hold up. Excuse me, my sinuses. Excuse me. She was also, what's his name? She was talking, Dr. Sebi, I think it was. Is that how you say his name, Sebi? And basically just the spiritual nourishment she was getting from him also included the fact of how you could cure certain medical things with, basically it was herbal remedies, and you didn't have to take over-the-counter medicines or go to the doctor and get prescribed medicine, because these things would cure what you had. And see, that also would take money from pharma and the other industries like that. You see what I'm saying? So, Rochelle, good morning, bestie. So that's why it was important to take her. I think that's why they done that too. All right, so that's the end of the audio. Let's go. Let's see what we can get going. Let's see what's going on inside the court. I think the has set up this whole trial against Puffy Jacket since he went again. Facts. We talk about, you got to play your position. You cannot think that you're bigger than the machine. It will not work. When you take the oath, to do things that they tell you to do. Natty in the building. What's up, baby girl? How you doing? When you, thank you for that heart meet. I appreciate it. When you sign up and give that, you take that sacrifice, you got to do what they tell you to do. You know, and that's just how it goes. If you deviate from it, then there will be grave consequences. All right, we're behind. So 2 minutes ago, let me do this. 2 minutes ago, it says, I can't, it doesn't, okay, I missed what they asked him, so we'll just pick it up from here. Mr. Garcia says, Miss Quorum passed the phone to Puffy Jacket again. The prosecutor said, what did he say? Mr. Garcia says that I sounded like a good guy, that he could help, that something like this could ruin him. He wanted the video. He said if it got out, it would ruin his career. Talk about telling on yourself, man. Talking about just really getting yourself in trouble. I'm good. Listen, my sinuses is messing with me, man. Like the pollen, the allergies, it's getting to me. But I missed yesterday, so I had to be here today. Jenny says, remember when Meek got out and he thanked Desiree Perez? Yep, sure do. Marley says, the trial of sus death and attempts is too long to not pay attention. Bigger than P Jacket only. Yeah, well, you know, I wish they would charge him on. I really wish they would do the investigations on that. I'm gonna be honest with you. In addition to all of this too. Garcia says, I said I didn't have access to the server. He told me he believed I could make it happen. He would take care of me. The prosecution said, what did you think he meant? You know, by he'd take care of him. Garcia said, money for the video. Prosecution says, what did you do? Garcia said, reached out to my supervisor about it. So once again, he knew he committed a crime and he was trying to pay to get the tape. You cannot do that. That is against the law. The prosecution says, who is your supervisor? Mr. Garcia says, oh, I don't know how to pronounce it. Bill Madrano, I guess that's it. Madrano, he told me he would do it for 50. The prosecution says, what do you think that meant? Mr. Garcia said he'd give the video for $50,000. The prosecution says, what did you do? Mr. Garcia says, call Christina, who put Puffy Jacket on. He called me Eddie my angel. Folks, listen, again, I don't know what else you need to hear or see. Bessie says, right, Bessie, they're not charging Puffy Jacket for all his crimes. Right, they're not. They're not. And that's the thing. For the people to keep yelling he's innocent and this, that, and the third, you need to be thankful that this is all they're trying to get him for, because there's so much more they could get him for. Dimple Cheek says, and why he asked for immunity for his testimony. Right, and that's why he asked, because he knew that he could have been tied into that. Don't get me wrong. If he would have never reported and then never got paid any money or anything like that, he wouldn't have been in trouble, because you don't have to report anything, right? That's not, I mean, I know it's crazy, but it's not. Justin, what's up, brother? Hey, thank you for that popular vote, and thank you for that heart me. You don't have to report anything. So if he just would have left it at that, that's fine. But he facilitated a monetary transaction to hide a crime. You get me? And so that's what would have gotten him in trouble. I'm doing good, brother. Just fighting allergies, but I'm doing good. How about yourself? So that immunity was needed for sure. And I like it. I'm going to tell you, I like it that he got it, because now he can freely tell everything, you know, not discrediting any of the other witnesses, but I'm just saying, when you know that you don't have to face anything, if you tell the truth, you good. Brand new 2023 says, drink a lot of water. Okay, that'll help with the allergies. Mr. Garcia says, Puffy Jacket told me, I knew you could do it. Let's do it right. Oh, let's do it right away. I told Bill Madrano. Prosecution says, what did he do? Mr. Garcia says, he went into the server room. Then he handed me a black USB and said, done. The video was in the USB. Prosecution said, what did you do? Mr. Garcia says, told Puffy Jacket. Prosecution says, where did Puffy Jacket want to meet? Mr. Garcia said, West LA. He said, let's get it done. He wanted the video as soon as possible. I told Bill Madrano. He told me to tell the others I was on an errand for him. The prosecution says GXA-A-104. What hours did you list? And Mr. Garcia says from 10 to 1800. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not good with military time. Okay, Dimple Cheek. I'm not good with military time, but that's the time, right? And so what? 8. So that's what? 6 o'clock. Am I right? For my military people. Bessie said, "Too bad Gunna can't do that special prayer for Puffy Jacket." Right. Okay, so 1800 is 7 p.m. Okay, thank you, Gina. Appreciate it. I told you I wasn't good with it, but appreciate that. Alex says, are y'all familiar with the Simpsons character Ned Flanders? Yeah, I know you talking about. Yeah, I know you talking about. So it's 6 p.m. Okay. Did I say? What did I say? 7? Did I say 6? I ain't sure. I forgot. I talk too much. Yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about. I said 7. Okay. Okay. So it's 6. Okay. Oh yeah, you right. Duh. 2 plus 6 equals 8. Oh, I did say 6. Okay. Okay. So I wasn't sure. Okay. Okay. So the prosecutor's back. They says, where was the meeting point? Mr. Garcia said a big high-rise building. I called the number and someone came. She came, said he was Puffy Jacket's bodyguard. The prosecution says, how did he look? Mr. Garcia said, older African American, heavy set, 6'3" to 6'5". Okay, so now here we are, people. Now we had a security guard or bodyguard who clearly is on the payroll of Puffy Jacket, going and letting this person in to facilitate a crime. Now we have a criminal enterprise because he's directing people to allow him to assist in committing crimes and covering them up. Not, you get me? Exactly, Marley 007. There's another Rico. And again, I hate that we have to keep saying it on here, but people really act like they don't understand what it is, and it's and they keep coming in and saying they haven't proven it. They haven't proven. Like I don't know if they need to see multiple unalive bodies in a street or something in order to get it. I don't know. Right, Jenny, we love TikTok Shop. It's the best. It's the best. TikTok Shop, we love you. Okay. The prosecution says, what did he say? Mr. Garcia says that he kind of came up with Puffy Jacket, that he was a good guy and I was doing a good thing. Prosecution said upstairs, and what was said upstairs? Mr. Garcia says, Puffy Jacket was smiling, called me Eddie my angel. My voice was cracking, so I said I was coming down with something. I'll tell you too, man. You don't have, whether you believe it or not is on you. Clearly, we see that people, for whatever reason, can't get it. We see that. But I tell you something else that stands out to me. It's the details. It's the details. Gina says they are showing the Ricardo. They are showing a man with money, a problem with D-Ruck. Exactly. Hold on, I missed what Shira. Shout out to you, Shira. How you doing? I didn't know you came in. She said they aren't educating themselves on what the charges entail. That part, bestie, for sure. Natty, thank you for that. Let them cook. I appreciate that. They give it to you, like, whether you decide that you feel like you want to accept it is a different story, right? But you can't sit here and say it didn't happen, or they're lying, and because they're giving you everything. And we told you all, and I'm gonna say we, because I'm talking about my viewers, my people here. We told you all, just give it time, let it play out. We told you they were setting the foundation and they was going to build up to the Ricardo charges. Now, we get to the Ricardo charges and you still choose not to believe it. So at this point, what was you saying you still didn't see it then for? You wouldn't, because you wasn't going to buy it when they showed it to you, right? All right. So Mr. Garcia says, Puffy Jacket told Christina to go get me some of the tea that he liked. Then he asked, do you have it? I said yes, and handed it to him. The prosecution says, what What'd he do? What did he do? Mr. Garcia says he left, came back. He asked if it was the only copy. And the prosecutor says, you said? Mr. Garcia says, I believe so. Mr. Garcia says, I keep because I'm reading, so I want to say it, and I can't do that. Puffy Jacket said it had to be the only copy, nothing in the cloud. I called Mr. Madrano and said, and he said it was the only copy. He took it off the server, which we know is a lie. We know it's a lie because, on the second or third day, that security guard said he recorded it and took it home and showed his wife. But in any event, let's keep going. The prosecution says, what else did you say? Mr. Garcia said that if Cassie filed a complaint, I could get in trouble. Here we go again. Boy. Yeah, I wonder who the bodyguard was too. Okay, so let's see if we can. I wonder if that was Uncle Paulie. Let's find out. See you. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so yeah, it's Uncle Polly because it says he was his security from 2004 to 2018, right? So, but I'm sure there was other people on security detail as well. But because we know what's his name was on there too, Big's old friend. Okay, so Garcia, Mr. Combs said, "Don't." Mr. Combs said, "Don't worry. Cassie wanted it gone too. He called her on FaceTime and showed me. She was in a hoodie, but I recognized her." The prosecution says, "What did Miss Ventura say?" Mr. Garcia says that she had a movie coming out and wanted this to not come out. Uh, Mr. Garcia says, I wanted my ID. Mr. Garcia says he wanted my ID and that of Mr. Madrano and the responding officer, Mr. Flores. But he is a very straight guy and probably wouldn't do it. I told Bill Madrano. Now listen, he's trying to confiscate these people's ID so he can get their information in case he needs to put pressure on them as far as threatening them, as far as if things didn't play out like they did and word got out and he needed to go and put some intimidation on him or other things, that's what that's for. Okay, prosecution says, what did Mr. Medrano say? Mr. Garcia said, we'd get Henry Elias, the other responding officer. Now, I don't know. I don't know this for sure. But if, right, Bessie, to put that work in, exactly, just in case. I don't know for sure, and I'm only speculating. Listen, people, listen what I said for my Diddy supporters. I mean, Puffy Jacket supporters. Listen to me.
I'm just saying, this isn't true. It hasn't been said or proven. I'm just asking a question.
What? Because we have stated that a lot of times police officers are in on the corruption and help, especially LAPD, right? And so I wonder if he got these people, if he was asking for the officer's name that responded to the case or to the incident, if he was asking that so he could know who to tell his people that was cool with covering up his crime on the LAPD to go to them and make sure they didn't say nothing. Right, Bestie? Right, Bestie. That's what I'm saying, right? So I wonder that. I could be wrong. I could be, like I said, it's just a thought. But if we follow the breadcrumbs, it all makes sense, correct? It would make sense. Because why would you want to know an officer's information while you are actively committing a crime? Okay, still nothing yet. All right, they still hadn't updated anything yet. So let's go and let's see what we got going on outside the courtroom.
How much should good car insurance cost?
No, they're still just showing outside the court. Nothing's happening though. Yep, still no updates. So, what do you say we open the panel? Anybody want to come up in the panel? I'm still refreshing to see if anything pops up. I want us to get it in real time. See. You know, it's crazy. It's crazy because I'm not even on trial or anything like that. It has nothing to do with me. But when it takes longer for updates to come out, I just be like, uh-oh. I wonder what happened. I wonder what's going on. I wonder what they're talking about. You know, is it good for him? Is it bad for him? Like, I don't know why. Like I like it's me. Like I be trying to figure out. Hey Jessica, how you doing? Nope. It ain't lunchtime yet, so here we go. Mr. Garcia says when Puffy Jacket saw the IDs, he looked at Henry's and said, "Yeah, that's him." Then he brought out the NDAs that I wouldn't speak about it. Do I need to go any further? Man, there's Ricardo all over this. No. A lot of them things remind me of Nature Boy. You're right, Bess. A lot of the action, especially even with the eating others, you know, baby batter. Like a lot of similarities. Let me ask, how can I put this? Right. Put a 2 in the chat. Put a 1 if you think he's guilty. Put a 2 in the live if you think he's innocent. And here, I'm gonna do mine too. Put a 1 in the live if you think he's guilty, Puffy Jacket. Put a 2 in the live if you think he's innocent. I would love for him to get it for everything. You're right, Bessie. Listen, if they would have put this in the other court down the street, this would have already been over. It would have already been over. You know? The reason why I asked you all to do that is because I was trying to see who all in here was still thinking that they couldn't see any Ricardo charges. Because I was going to ask them, what person you know that's innocent drives around with NDAs with him? Because, see, people who haven't done anything, they don't need NDAs. Hey, I got to read that so people can hear it in post-production. Philly says his birthday is the only thing innocent about him. That is so true. Among the Wicked says free Puffy Jacket. Bad boy for life. Okay, great. I knew we would have one in here, at least one. So why do you say free him? Would you like to come up in the panel and say why you would like to free him? As a matter of fact, you know what? No. I'm not going to do it that way. Here's what we're going to do. Okay, so let me see something. Oh man, Among the Wicked, you're a bot. Mods, can we show him the door, please? You can't even come up in the panel. Natty says, like Tupac said, F Bad Boy as a staff, record label, and as a crew. Facts. Hold on. Except Biggie. You know, I like Biggie. But yeah, I'm with you on that. Natty. Let's see if they can give us some more. Now understand now, if you come on here and you say free him and all that, I'm gonna invite you up. because I need to know where you coming from. Facts. That part, Natty. He wanted out. He already knew he wanted out. Okay, so the prosecution says GX-106. Do you recognize this? Mr. Garcia says, it states I have provided the only copy of the video. Prosecution says, do you read it? Did you read it? Mr. Garcia said, no. I was nervous. Prosecution says, were you given a copy? Mr. Garcia said, no. Prosecution. And the NDA, what were the liquidated damages? Mr. Garcia says $1 million. Prosecution says, how much were you making? Mr. Garcia says $10.50 an hour. Listen. Boy. I knew this week is going to be something. This week is going to be something because this guy right here, and he got complete immunity, man. But then too, you got to think, if what they're saying is true, yeah, it's $10.50 an hour, and then this man offering you $1 million. I'm gonna be honest with you. I see why he did it. I'm not saying he's right. I see why he did it, but I'm not saying he's right. But before y'all jump on that, the fact that Puffy Jacket was offering money to pay for this to make this stuff go away, and this starts there, because there's no way this guy could have accepted $1 million for a payment if Puffy Jacket didn't offer it. Bestie, I'm gonna be transparent. I'm saying, $10.50 an hour. I'm getting a meal. Yeah, you know, real pimp decisions. Isn't that what Cat Williams say? But yeah, you can't you still have, because I know a lot of, well, not a lot. Some of you are gonna try to say, well, oh, he did a crime. He accepted the money. He'd be no. Can't have that, because your boy offered. Betty said, I got 6 miles to feed, no question about it. Look, she said that didn't concern me what went on. Hey, Denisha 83, welcome to the live. How you doing? Welcome to hashtag I'm gonna say it. She said, sorry, but I will take it. I'm just saying. I really, listen, I'm just saying, people. Let's be honest. You making I've made $10.50 an hour at a job before. And I can make a meal in a minute. Listen, I don't know what y'all were arguing about, but I hope y'all worked that out. Hey, Angel, thank you for that heart, me love. I appreciate it. I just need my money, and I got 2 words for you. I'm gone. Don't call me nothing else. I don't want no nothing. Be the light. Thank you for that rose. I appreciate it. But yeah, you can't sit here and act like he didn't do anything wrong. He offered it. He was covering up his crimes. He had already offered 50 grand to the supervisor. Thank you for that heart, me. I miss who sent that. Thank you for that heart, me. Thank you for the heart puff, Angel. I appreciate that, love. Oh, and I forgot you. Thank you for the rose, Be the Light. I forgot to give you that. Okay. All right. So it says, the prosecution says, how did Puffy Jacket give you the $100,000? Mr. Garcia says, in a brown paper bag. Prosecution says, was the bodyguard there? Mr. Garcia said, yes. Boy, look at here. Prosecution says, and Miss Coram, was she present? Mr. Garcia says, I would say at some point, yeah. I stood up. The prosecution says signifying. Mr. Garcia said that I'd be leaving. Like he like, listen, like, give me my money. I'm ready to go. Okay, so let's go back. Let's go back because before what I just read says, then what? Mr. Garcia says, Puffy Jacket put cash through the money counter. So he had a machine that counted the money. Okay. There were stacks of 10,000 at a time. The machine displayed at the end $100,000. Prosecution says, why the additional 50,000? Mr. Garcia says, for me, and what he thought was Israel Flores. So, if I remember correctly, didn't we say Flores was an officer? Didn't we say? Am I forgetting? Am I losing my mind? Right. Angel, right? Look, I don't need no drink. I don't need no drink. I just need the money. I'm on my way. You know, you keep that drink. Okay. So, we said earlier, they told us, and this is all court transcript, that Mr. Flores was a police officer. In fact, his supervisor told Mr. Garcia to give him Flores's, Officer Flores's information, right? Instead of the one that was there present when it happened. And they just stated that he was to give the additional 50,000 to the officer. You still don't know what a Ricardo is? You still struggling with that? A minute ago, Mr. Garcia says, Puffy Jacket escorted me to my car. He asked how I'd be spending it. He said not to make any big purchases. The judge says, and the reason why he doesn't want him to make big purchases, because, of course, that's going to, hey, where did the money come from? You get me? Okay, make any big purchase. Okay, the judge says, Mr. Steele, if you are objecting, speak into the microphone. That's sustained. Disregard the last part of that. I don't, me personally, I wouldn't have sustained that. That would have been overruled because it goes into him basically knowing what he's doing. He's even telling you, hey, so it won't get tracked back to me, or this transaction and what's going on, then just don't buy nothing big. Right, Bessie, she said, sounds like some Goodfellas stuff. Yeah, I'm getting Soprano all day. And Goodfellas, yeah. Angel said that Shira 95, he was the first witness. Be the Light says, officer worked with both Puffy Jacket and Suge. Hush Money. That part, brother. That part, exactly, right there. Right there. Now, my brother, I love Be the Light, man. Man, so look, so listen. Like we said a couple of shows ago, might have been a few shows ago, I can't remember. But anyways, what I'm saying is, so now listen. If the LAPD officer was accepting money not to say anything or not to report this or do anything like that, you got to know that they helped him cover up Biggie's unaliving. You got to know that the witness who said that she escaped and went into the police department and told them what happened and who it was that did it to him, and they made a phone call, and moments later she saw Puffy Jacket come into the police department, give the police officer a duffel bag of money. You got to believe. Listen, I ain't gonna hold you. I can deal with somebody who doesn't understand. I can deal with that. I cannot stomach, deal with, sit with, stand intentional ignorance that doesn't work for me. I don't accept it from my kids. I don't accept it from nobody. It just don't work. I mean, you seeing this is court. It's not me giving my opinion as far as what I'm reading. He did these things. Okay, let's keep going. The prosecution says, what did you do? Mr. Garcia said, call Bill Medrano and gave him $50,000. The prosecutor says, how much to Mr. Elias? Mr. Garcia said, $20,000. Prosecutor said, what did you do with your $30,000? Mr. Garcia says, bought a used car with cash. Prosecution says, did you hear from Puffy Jacket again? Mr. Garcia said, yes. He called and told me Happy Easter if I ever needed anything. The prosecution said, and did you reach out to him later? Mr. Garcia said, a few years later, via Instagram, asking if there was work in LA. I never heard back. Prosecution said, hey, sidebar. I told you. When they say sidebar, man, listen. As you see, she's called sidebar once before, and and still came back with fire. This isn't looking good for Puffy Jacket. Bessie said, doesn't sound low key to me. You see, listen, here's the thing though. In his mind, and I know we done talked about this before, and I'm gonna let you all go in like 10 minutes. We're gonna end the show, okay? But I know that because of the backing he had, the safety net he had, the umbrella he was under, he felt confident in doing this because he's gotten away with it before. He's gotten away with it before. Charlie Sprinkles, what's up, brother? I think I just seen your name. How you doing today? Yeah, I did. How you doing, brother? I'm sorry, I didn't know you came in. I would have, I would have said hey to you when you came in. Good, good. Great blessings. Good. Jenny said, I want Keefy D to flip. You know, a lot of people keep saying that he is lying too, but I just don't buy that. I don't think he's lying. I don't think he's lying. Man, you know what? How much is the sidebar? Okay. You know what? I might end up getting that next week. Because I hate not being able to see what they're saying in the sidebar. Okay, so you read that. That's a sidebar transcript that we have to pay for to get. The more I say, nah, I'm not going to do it, the more it tells me I should. So we can get everything. Puffy, hey, Charlie Sprinkle said Puffy Jacket is going home. Laugh out loud. Yeah, he is. He going home. Brooklyn house, but he's going home. Yeah. Yeah, he definitely can. And that you bring up a good point, Bessie. He can appeal. He can appeal, and I would be looking for him to do that if things don't turn out in his favor, unless Cheetolini pardons him. You know, Cheetolini may pardon him. Oh, okay, yeah, okay. So Charlie Sprinkles said, yeah, Cheetolini is going to pardon him. I mean, yeah, okay. So we were saying the same thing. Yeah, put it like this. The only thing that makes me say that he won't. I'm sorry, this cord is long. The only thing that makes me say that he may not do that is because they're both narcissists, right? And the only way that Cheetolini would do that is if Puffy Jacket bends the knee and kiss the ring. But Puffy Jacket likes to have control. So, and then, it definitely because he went against him in the, at 2020. Natty says, if Puffy Jacket wasn't worried about these Ricardo charges, he would have hired the man that usually testifies for the state. So these naysayers just saying it to talk. I think I read that right. Rita said Cheetolini. Hey man, I'm really, because you know the new taco chicken taco thing. You know the taco thing that's going on. Taco is the acronym for Cheetolini, but you know his name. Cheetolini always. Oh, I don't forgot. What's it called? Oh my god. Oh yeah, Cheetolini always chicken out. I'm actually gonna go to Taco Bell and I'm gonna order that. So you gotta say, yeah, that's it, Dr. Rashida. So because I was like, oh, that's funny, that's cool. But no, a person actually did it. And I'm gonna tell you what he done, and I think it's genius. And I do think, I used to work at Taco Bell back in the 90s, so I love Taco Bell. So this is not any kind of shot at them or anything. Shout out to them. But he went through the drive-thru and he ordered a Cheetolini taco. And the person that worked in the drive-thru was like, beg your pardon, is what? He's like, yeah. So it's we all should do this, but it's a what you call it? Dorito Locos Taco, Loco Taco, the Dorito one, the orange one. But instead of ground beef and lettuce and cheese and all that, you get chicken. And that's the Cheetolini taco. I said, man, look, thought I wouldn't when I would. I'm gonna do it. Yeah, Doritos Locos, yes. Get you a Doritos Locos taco. Tell them you want chicken instead of beef, and that's the Cheetolini taco, boy. Boy, look at here. Hey Rita, I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna record it. I'm gonna show y'all. Why? Because your host is a fool like that. I do that. I don't. I'm petty like that. I don't like him like that. So yeah, I'm gonna do it. And shout out to the person that did it. I can't remember their name on here. But shout out to them. Oh, you better believe I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna tell y'all right now. My wife gonna get out the car before I pull up. She went, no. I don't know. I can't say that. Cause my wife loves watching me act the fool like that. Like she finds it funny. Like she's like, your sense of humor, man. You just something else. But I'll do something like that. Hashtag I'm gonna say it. I don't care. Brother, they still not back from the sidebar? Now, did they say sidebar or salad bar? Because it's been forever. Well, they're still not back, so. Hold on, Sasha. That went up too fast, love. Hold on. Puffy Jacket paid $100,000 and made them sign NDAs. Right. So, what more do we need to cover that? My little brother said, or buffet bar. Right. Right, little brother. Hey, listen. Look, how long ago was that? 8 minutes ago. 8 minutes ago, they asked for the sidebar and they still not back. Sasha said, that's Ricardo. Exactly. So, we don't want to hear it no more. Like this, but listen, this is what they asked for, right? In the beginning, like our pastor in Jacksonville used to say, he's from Tupelo, Mississippi. And it's funny because, no knock against Mississippi. Not that I would go there, but I just drive through. But anyway, no knock against y'all, but it's just funny that our pastor in Jacksonville, Florida, he was from Tupelo, Mississippi. And he used to always say beginning and arguing. So that's what I was going to say. So it ain't no need for them to come in and arguing about they can't see no Ricardo charges because now these people are giving it to them. Queen KCO, grand rising to you, love. How you doing? My little brother said speedy trial, and they needed to understand this is what Puffy Jacket asked for. Exactly. They asked for a speedy trial, and I do believe they wanted to do a speedy trial and try to get that done and over with before all of this came out. But too bad, came out. But you got what you wanted. You got a speedy trial, and here we are. And not only that, but the prosecution saying, look, we might not even need all that time that you originally gave us because we feel confident we already got our case wrapped up. That doesn't bode well for him at all. Jenny says, I'm still rocked by Camel Face lawyers saying that they weren't friends. Right, the biggest lie ever told. That was the worst defense right there. Philly says, if he gets out, he has lost. Who will want to be in that company? He worse than the plague. That's true, because nobody wants to jeopardize their brand dealing with that. And I'll tell you something else, too. Some of these victims' families, alleged, we got to say alleged victims. Some of these alleged victims' family didn't even know about this. So you got to think, now that they do, you don't know who has a brother, uncle, dad that wants to go ahead and clap back. So even if he does get out, it doesn't mean it's going to be good for him. That's why I said he's probably better off in there anyways. You got to think. He got all of what he liked getting right there. They're already like making his bed and doing stuff for him. So he can do all the take that. He won't in there. Are we back? Okay, we're back finally. All right, so judge says, anything further, Miss Steiner? She says, yes, Mr. Flores, did you see this video again? Mr. Garcia said, what? Is she talking to... now that part I don't know, but she's the prosecutor, Miss Steiner, she's saying, he asked if the judge actually had any more questions. He said yes. She said yes. Mr. Flores, do you see the video again? First of all, it's not Mr. Flores on there. It is Garcia. So I think that she was just going from Flores, the officer, what we last talked about. But Mr. Garcia says yes. On a news outlet. Also, Mr. Flores messaged me a screenshot. Prosecution says, did you keep these messages? Mr. Garcia says, no. I wanted nothing to do with it. What did we say? Get the money, get out. That's what we figured he would do. Prosecution says, were you contacted by law enforcement? Mr. Garcia said, yes. Hey, thank you for that big shout out, Natty. I appreciate that, bestie. Thank you. Mr. Garcia said, yes. Prosecutor said, did you tell the truth? Mr. Garcia said, no. I wanted nothing to do with it. Prosecutor says, did you get your own lawyer and then sold the truth? Then told the truth? Mr. Garcia said, yes. Prosecution says, no further questions. Judge says, Mr. Steele, this character. Mr. Steele, the only time I think he done good really was Mia. All right, well, look, y'all, I'm going to have to end the show because Rudy will be getting off the bus soon from summer school. So I'm going to have to end it here, but let me make a couple of announcements. If you came in late and you missed the show, we do post episodes on my YouTube channel, which is GSmooth404. Okay? You know what? Basically, let's do that first. Good idea. Let's do prayer first, right? And then we'll do our information, right? Stuff like that. Okay. So let's bow our heads in prayer. Father God, we come to thee to say thank you. Thank you for giving your son, your only begotten son, to us, and his blood covering us, that we may have a path back to you even when we fall off the path of righteousness. We thank you for that. We thank you for loving us enough to know that when we do make mistakes, your love never wavers. Father, we thank you for that because we know we're not perfect beings, but Father, you still choose to love us. Father, we pray that you just keep all of the victims, all of the people affected by this, if you will put your caring, consoling, and loving arms around them, and also your arms of comfort. If it be thy will you put your hands of protection upon them and their family as they tell their truth. Father, really, no matter how this comes out, someone is going to be hurt, families are going to be affected, and Father, we just pray that you just heal all, because you have the power to do that. Father, it's these things we ask in your Son, Jesus Christ's name. Let us all say, amen. Oh yeah, we got to play we're going to play the entrance music while we close out the show. Okay, so like I said, if you miss an episode, you can go on my YouTube page. It's GSmooth404. We'll be posting episodes on that. Shout out to my little brother Matthew Collins for the song. I love it.
Another headline screen.
Also, this hashtag I'm gonna say it shirt's available. If you would like to purchase one, just contact me. We'll get that for you. Let's give it up for the gifters. You almost off injured reserve? Okay, good. Come on back in. Get back in the game. Shout out to my moderators. And shout out to all of you for joining us here on hashtag I'm Gonna Say It. I got you, little brother. That's right, get you one, get you one. Also, on YouTube, go to Global Impact Wrestling TV. We have shows on Monday Night Mayhem, Wednesday Night Warfare, and Thursday Night Throwdown. Please go and follow us on there, especially if you're a wrestling fan. You go over there, you'll love it. I promise you. Kids like wrestling, go there and check us out. Follow hashtag Truth Podcast on here. Yes, 7 p.m. on Wednesdays. 7 p.m. on Wednesday. Wait, are we going 7 or 5? 5 p.m. Make sure you join us there. I love you all. It's me, your self-proclaimed favorite news reporter, reporting to you live from the newsroom. You all have a blessed day. I love you all. Peace and blessings.